YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, I have a special treat for you guys today. And typically, I think most of you already know how to play this deck. So a while ago, I actually opened a Master Selection Pack. I got a copy of the UCT. So I was thinking, why not make a Dino deck right here? Since I already have 3 copies of Baby Ceratosaurus, and then 3 copies of Scrap Raptor. So most of the cards are going to be SRs. And also, I only have, or I still need to craft a copy of Oviraptor here, which was what we really need for the deck. And of course, 1 copy of Fossil Dig, but it wasn't really a problem. And the 2 copies of the Evil Czar monsters for the extra deck. But other than that, we already have a ton of cards that are basically in our arsenal, so might as well gonna form a Dino deck out of it. So right off the bat, the main deck is composed of 2 copies of Archaeosaur, really good card to actually pop any monster on the field or on the hand. Most of the cards or basically the cards that you need to pop most of the time is Baby Ceratosaurus. The best thing about the Dino deck, as what I've experienced, is you can add Maxi, Ash Blossoms, Imperms, Cobalt Graves, and whatsoever or whatever negate that you need or disruption that you'll need. Probably want to tell you guys that I actually just copied this in the Master Duel Meta because I was still learning on the deck a while ago. But afterwards, it was really straightforward once you get to know the combo. But yeah, it takes like a little bit of knowledge to actually perform this combo well. But anyways, 1 copy of Petit Pterodon, 1 copy of Giant Rex, once banished, special summon to the field. You'll always banish this card with the help of your double evolution pill. 1 Chimera, 3 copies of Scrap Raptor. Of course, these are the good combos that you'll basically need. Miscellaneousaurus, a really good card for, or a really good support for the Dino deck, and by far, if ever you're a Dino player, you'll know that this is one of the most broken cards to support the Dino deck. Once dropped from your hand to the graveyard, your Dinos are basically indestructible or unaffected. So you need to have to max this out basically. 3 copies of Oviraptor, pops 1 card on the field. If ever you have a Baby Ceratosaurus, pop it up. Basically 3 Raptors, 1 copy of Pankatops, 2 copies of UCT. Basically, you only need 2 copies of this in the deck. 2 copy of Double Evolution Pill to spell summon your UCT on the field. 3 copies of Fossil Dig, really good searcher for any Dino monster. 1 pot of P, because basically you don't need that much monsters in your extra deck just to perform well. If ever you'll actually banish a lot of monsters, then you can just utilize the UCT on the field. Oh yeah, Lost World is a really good card basically for support on the Dinos. So that's really good. Colbert Graves, Imperms, and Cross's Designator is your additional cards in the deck. Extra deck wise, your copy of Burlode Savage Dragon, of course. 1 copy of Draco Berserker of the Tenim. Now you can go for an SR for this. I think the only SR or good SRs for this that is a level 8 is this one here. Crimson Blade is a really good card to actually go up against tier elements or even some or most of the cards at the moment. I think most of the people already have a copy of Draco Berserker since most of the people are using Sword Soul, so yeah. The 2 Evil Czar monsters, the Lagia and the Dolka, really good cards. Spell and Trap Negate for the Lagia, and then Monster Negate for the Dolka. 1 Abyss Dweller for the tier elements or up against tier elements. Number 41, Baguska for stalling. What else? Number 60, Dagaris, really good card. Basically, he can OTK and then pump the damage of Ultimate Conductor Tyranna during that turn. 1 copy of Link Corbo, and yes, I am flexing that Royal Finish. Basically, I just got that one from the Master Collection or Master Selection Pack. 1 copy of Pentastag, really good combo with just UCT on the field and this card right here. Scrap Wyvern for your combo on the Scrap Raptor and then Scrap Chimera. IP Masquerena, Sprite Elf for of course your other level 2 monsters. Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Appaloosa, and of course your Access Code Dagger. Easy enough to actually perform, easy enough to summon, and that's basically your main deck right there, guys. Without further ado, let's go into the replays, and I'll showcase you guys the misplays that I did with this deck. But even so, we won that game even though I made a misplay. So yeah, let's go to the replays, and I'll see you guys later for the outro. Alright guys, so here we are with the replays, and I think add an additional replay here, so we got 4 replays for you guys today. Anyways, so we have a starting hand of 2 Baby Ceratosaurus, 1 Petit Pterodon, 1 Giant Rex, and 1 Pot of Prosperity. So to start, we'll go with Pot of P just to search out any good cards, since we're going first anyways. So luckily we got a copy of Miscellaneousaurus here. Drop a copy of Miscellaneousaurus, and then use the effect to spell summon the Archeosaur, or the Archeosaur. And then our opponent is going to use his Hades on his hand. So we're going up against Steer Elements, so we need to be more careful what card that we need to get from the graveyard. But anywho, with the effect of Baby Ceratosaurus, we spell summon our Oviraptor here. And since we have a normal summon, by the way, so that's really good. So our opponent is going to use the effect of Chaos Hunter here since we spell summon a monster. So our double evolution peel, it won't be usable here at the moment, but we can still use it later on. But anyways, normal summon our baby, pop with the Oviraptor, use the effect of baby in the graveyard to spell summon the raptor. Raptor will then pop the baby on the field, and then my opponent for some reason uses the effect of Modora here just to recycle back my baby. So I don't know why he did that, but it's pretty fine for me. So with that, 1 baby on the field. And with the Archeosaur and the Raptor, we go for Scrap Wyvern. Wyvern will spell summon 1 from the graveyard. Pop the Raptor. Raptor effect will get a copy of Chimera. And then Wyvern will spell summon a Raptor from the deck. And then we pop the Chaos Hunter since we need double evolution pill later on. So we almost have a full board right here for our combos. So anyways, normal summon our Chimera with the effect of Raptor. Spell summon 1 Raptor from the graveyard, and then we go for Sprite Elf with our baby and a copy of Wyvern. Now we'll use Wyvern to attach into Overload Savage Dragon. There we go. And then we use the effect of Elf. Spell summon the baby back to the field, and we use them as a fodder with the Chimera into IP Masquerena. So with that, and now all we need to do is use the evolution pill to banish our Giant Rex and 1 Chimera into a UCT. And then with the Rex banish, we spell summon it back to the field. Since we have 2 dinos, we go for a Dolka here since we're going up against Steer Elements. So that's really good. So that's at this point on, we have a really good board. And if ever we summon into a Nightmare Unicorn, we still have materials on hand. So during our opponent's turn, he will use Harpy's Weather Duster. We don't need to negate that one because we already need the counters for the Borreload. Our opponent is going to use Terraforming here, which will use the Borreload effect, and then chain with the effect of Sprite Elf. Now at this point, we use the effect of Masquerena, go into a Nightmare Unicorn like I said earlier, and then return back to the deck a copy of his Hadness. And that's basically what we'll need. So we still have 2 monster negates still present. There we go. And the effect of UCT to put everything face down. So that's really good. So that's our first game right there, guys. Let's move towards the second one. Alright guys, so second game replay, we have 2 Lost Worlds, 1 Oviraptor, 1 Miscellaneousaurus, and 1 Pankratops. So not really the best for 2 Lost Worlds, but it's still really good to have 1 copy at least. Anyways, we go for Lost World first. Go for Miscellaneousaurus. Send it to the graveyard just for protection for our Oviraptor effect. Oviraptor will search out a copy of Baby Ceratosaurus, and then Miscellaneous will get a copy of Archeosaur, popping our baby. And since with the effect of Lost World, now there are some misplays here that I made, but I'll tell you why in a bit. So there you go, popping the baby. Special summoning a copy of another baby on the field. Oviraptor will pop the baby. Now, right here, instead of getting or spell summoning the first baby that was popped, I actually summoned the one that I recently popped with the Oviraptor. So it didn't the recent baby that was popped didn't resolve its effect or didn't even trigger its effect. So it was really sad that I misclicked into this. Anyway, so yeah, take note on that from time to time. If ever it's gonna be triggered, it's gonna prompt an effect to spell summon with the help of the Oviraptor. But yeah, that's one misplay there. So what I need to do here now is, since I actually made a misplay, I can go for IP Masquerena. So the thing about Dinos is there's a chance that you have a misplay and then you'll get punished for it. But otherwise, it's still really good if you're actually if you really have a good hand. But anyways, we're going up against Goatee. So him summoning into light means he's gonna spell summon a huge body on the field that can be used for a fodder later on. So he's gonna summon that. Might as well gonna go for Mighty Nightmare Unicorn, bounce it back to the deck. And so he doesn't have any more materials for a Synchro Summon. Which, of course, that ended his turn there. So that was a good choice for me, or on my part, for having IP Masquerade on the field. So during our turn, we actually got a lucky hand into Miscellaneous Source. We spell summon first our Pankratops, so that our Lost World will take effect. Now he got Maxi, so I'm not gonna go for a ton of spell summoning because he's gonna draw into a ton of cards anyways. So what I need to do is summon UCT on the field and the Pentastag for an effect of Piercing. So that's what we're gonna do. With Miscellaneous Source, we spell summon one Archeosaur, and then use them both for a fodder for a Pentastag. And then go for OTK. That's basically it. A really good card to actually combo off with UCT. So really insane. But yeah, he scooped before I actually ended his life points. Alright, so game number 3, guys. So we have 1 Giant Rex, 1 Miscellaneous Source, 1 Pankratops, 1 Double Evolution Pill, and lastly 1 Crossout Designator. Not that much that we have, but it is still playable. We got Scrap Raptor, by the way, so I think there's one thing there that we can do. Miscellaneous Source, we use that one for an effect. He will go for Maxi here, which of course we have luckily a Crossout Designator on hand. So that's really good. And I think that's the only downside for Dinos having to be Maxi. But needless to say, can't do anything else probably here. So we go for Wyvern here, go for the typical normal play. Wyvern into Scrap. Scrap will then be Pop. Scrap will be will use its effect, and then Wyvern. To do the same combo here, basically like what we did earlier. And then pop the back row. So at this point on, you can't do anything else but to use the Double Evolution Pill. So if ever our opponent is gonna summon a ton of monsters, we just flip it face down. But nevertheless, it's still a good or still a reliable deck anyways. Or reliable card. So at this point on, since we actually banished the Giant Rex, we managed to spell summon it back to the field, and for a Dugaris to double the attack of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and then ending the game right here. So yeah, he actually critted. He actually scooped into this. So yeah, really funny to actually play this kind of game. Alright guys, so last game here, we have here a really bad hand. One UCT, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Crossout, 1 Pot of P, and 1 Imperm. So not really the best of hand, but I think Pot of P will be good here to start off. But yeah, like I said earlier, this is one of the games that I had a ton of misplays, but I won because of purely luck. So right here, we got from Pot of P is 1 Lost World, 1 Double Evolution Pill, Miscellaneous Source, 2 Maxis, and 1 another Call by the Grave. So getting Miscellaneous Source will be somewhat difficult to actually perform. So might as well gonna get a copy of Maxi just in case he's gonna do a ton of spell summoning, which of course that was actually not a half bad of a choice that I made. So we set our Infirm, our Called By, and our Crossout, hoping that we won't get Harpies. So our opponent is gonna be using Maxmech here, so a really good card to actually go against a Maxi. There we go. He's gonna summon a Circular, and since we don't want him to use the effect of Sigma, we banish the Sigma with the Call by the Grave. Then go for Addition. Now he's gonna summon I think the Alambertian, that was the two XZ monsters. But anyways, yeah, with the Circulars, with the Addition summon to the field, it's gonna prompt the effect of Circular. We'll use the effect of you call this Ash Blossom. So instead of going for, I think, an Alambertian, he's gonna go for a Splash Mage. I think he's going for an OTK here. So I was really correct. He's going for the Update Jammer, and then going for the Access Code later on. So that was somewhat really hoping up. It was really hoping for him to perform this play. But needless to say, luckily we have an Imperm here. So yeah, go Imperm that, but we still got a ton of damage for 4,600 though. So that's really not half bad, but we actually managed to be to avoid an OTK. So we're gonna set one card face down, and then on our turn we draw into a copy of Arceus. Now, typically, we have a copy of Crossroad Designator here that we can just use if he'll use an Ash Blossom Maxi or an Imperm, which of course I misclicked. Instead of clicking the Crossroad Designator, I click on outside of it. So yeah, cancelled out. So my Arceosaur was actually negated because of the Imperm, and then so I don't have anything else to do but to use the effect of Link Oribo, or Link off into Link Oribo. So during our opponent's turn, he's gonna pop it up. So pop two of my cards. Doesn't really worth it if I'm gonna use cross out. He's gonna go for Small World. Luckily I have Ash Blossom. It would be sad if he has Call by the Grave on that turn. But anyways, that's it. He's gonna normal summon Effect Veiler for some apparent reason. So yeah, the hopes of 1-200 or higher monster was somewhat slim. But needless to say, we actually overcome it. So go for Overraptor, get a copy of Miscellaneousaurus. Miscellaneous will then be dropped and then banished afterwards for a copy of Arceosaur. Arceosaur will pop Baby on hand, get a copy of Double Evolution Pill. Baby will then spell summon another Baby on the field, pop with Overraptor, and then I won't make the same mistake earlier. So there we go, Raptor in the field. Raptor will pop the Baby. Baby will then get a copy of Giant Rex, and then we're going towards a copy of Scrap Wyvern. Now this is one of the misplays here. I should have got a copy of another Baby, which of course I still have in my deck. So what happens there is I've used the effect of the Wyvern, pop the last Baby instead of the Giant Rex, and then the last Baby will get a copy of Giant Rex. But instead I went on into Giant Rex earlier, so that's one thing there. But needless to say, this is actually a game ending already. So might as well, instead of the Giant Rex, I pop the access code, which of course, oh yeah, by the way, so there was a prompt earlier after the 5 summons that I have for Nibiru. It doesn't really matter because, like I said, once you banish the effect of once you drop a copy of Miscellaneousaurus, you're already on a winning condition. So there we go, Borreload, and that's basically it. He actually scooped here, so we still have a ton of replays here, but nevertheless we actually won. That's good. So that is the replays, guys. Let's go back to the outro. So that's the replays, guys, and this is the deck profile. Hope you enjoy this kind of content. Like and subscribe for more contents like this in the near future. That's me signing off. Keep safe, good luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.